The rules of the game. 1 video every single day, no exceptions. 365 days. Again, I'm already not on a great start. It's already within the last 3 hours of the day, but that's okay, we're still getting it done. Even if it's just unedited from my phone, just straight to YouTube. Second rule, this is actually the most interesting part. I have to try something new every single video. Yesterday was the easiest because it was just make a video. This one, I don't know, there's multiple things, I guess, using my FX30 or working on the intro, something like that, but it's going to get progressively harder. I mean, that's 365 new ideas, but some days that's going to be imitating some of my favorite artists or videographers. I also want, at the end, the last day of every single month, to kind of take stock specifically about the videos and just to kind of, again, it's not a grading scale, but just to, I think, be intentional about gathering the fruit from it. I'm going to try to break the fourth wall as much as possible. I don't know why. I can kind of get a sense why, but I've tried to, in my various musical or video or social media endeavors, try to I don't know, keep some weird sense of professionalism or tone, but it seemed to be a direct counter against any sort of personality. I can't insert myself in there. But I want to break the fourth wall and just be yeah, I'm excited about this right now, still trying to figure it out, still totally resolved to the fact that I need to act as if no one is watching this, and we'll learn. It's that's kind of the beauty, is it seems regardless of output, I always learn. We always have the opportunity to learn. That was a really big concept. Hopefully we'll talk about this more throughout the year, but one of my best friends, he went to the same high school as me, and we played poker together a lot my senior year. He really taught me the game, and the biggest lesson I learned from that was the danger of being result-oriented, of basing the quality of my action off of the result that it yielded. And so if I make an objectively, mathematically incorrect play, but I get lucky, human psychology dictates usually that I would feel good and I would validate my incorrect action. Vice versa, if I played well and got unlucky, then it seems like I would be averse to making the same type of move down the road. So this isn't about the output. That's why, that's the most insanely interesting part to me about this, is it's okay, you can maybe go to the end of the year and see how much it's grown, but I actually think this process is so much more putting myself out there, stretching kind of the bounds of my limitation, and it's just so much more interesting than any sort of polished end product I get if I get really insane at editing or framing and things like that. Just one last thought about rules. I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm a big pro discipline guy David Goggins or Jocko Willink. That's not necessarily my vocabulary most of the time. But I've lived a very principled lifestyle throughout seminary. I mean, that lifestyle kind of demands it in a real way. And so, like, I realize that there's a lot of implicit discipline, but, like, the rules aren't, like, to keep me accountable. I just like knowing what the bounds are. It almost makes it more interesting. Like, chess would not be an interesting game if every piece could move, you know, on every single square. It's kind of in the limitation you find the bounds for creativity, or like a haiku. That's also a Jordan Peterson thing. The fact that you have to write 5 syllables, that makes it insanely rife for creative enterprise. I am a strong believer that you will be held accountable by the rules of the game you choose to play. And so I really don't want to go down the route of clickbait or being in the zeitgeist of like the present popular trends. I'm trying to, I guess, transcend that. And it's a bit lame because it's like, you know, again, I'm not really impressing anyone with this at this point, and that's never the goal, but I'm kind of speaking, you know, from the peripheries, I guess. But I'm pretty serious about that it's like, if I were to make this a monetary enterprise, then who knows, I might hit it, but that might not even be, I might find myself there, and it might be like, why did I even want that in the first place? So I want to be pure in the pursuit of learning and unearthing, like I said yesterday, unearthing myself more and more. So that's what it's all about. I'm still like slightly out of breath from the pull-ups, but again, you know, breaking the fourth wall, trying things new. I think I'll probably close just in doing more of that, you know, a bit of a fade out. But again, day 2, twice as much content as I was at yesterday, and an infinite amount from day 1 to before that. So, you know, this is where the growing happens. This is where I really just figure out the art of telling stories. I think I'm going to close it up for today, but I really already have been thinking a lot about all of the stories I want to tell, and hopefully I can kind of tell them through a beautiful medium in a way that, you know, is illustrative. So excited for it. Always trying to stay excited for, you know, the best is yet to come. Hope is a very, very important virtue that is almost like the main struggle of my life. Like, I very much naturally tend towards despair in a lot of ways. So here's to hope. All right, let's see if we can do more than 17. I'm banking probably on like 12 if I'm lucky. All right, there's 14. Oh, form is like a B+, but we got up there. That's good.